We are hearing the glories of Navadvipa-dhama. Seventh Goswami Srila Bhakti in his book Navadvipa-dhama Mahatmya, a very beautiful way, he described the glories of the Dham. There's no difference between Vrindavan and Navadvipa and between Krishna and Mahaprabhu. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains. Knowing that Navadvipa is not different from Vrindavan, I'll do my bhajan in Navadvipa. But people don't want to live in Navadvipa-dhama. They want to stay in Navadvipa. Where do you live? In Delhi? Have you stayed in Navadvipa? You should stay there. People go for parikrama and then come back. But no. You should stay in Navadvipa-dhama. At least for some days. You should stay in Navadvipa-dhama for some days at least. You cannot stay your whole life in Navadvipa, but at least for some time you can stay there. So our Goswami is explaining you have to stay in Navadvipa to do your bhajan. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was ready to go to Vrindavan. He was the district magistrate and he was ready to go to Vrindavan. Then he thought, I need to go to Vrindavan to do my bhajan. Everybody wants to stay in Vrindavan, right? Generally. So he was doing pastimes like a human being. Navadvipa-dhama is such a confidential dham. Confidential dham. This is Gur Dham. Gur means confidential. Not many people know about Navadvipa. Brahmaji himself told in the Brahma Samhita, Kechi Abhijananti means very few people. Very few people, they know the glories of Navadvipa-dhama or Shetadvipa-dhama. Not everybody knows that. Or even though they know these glories, because they don't have Sukriti, they don't want to stay in Navadvipa-dhama. They want to live in Vrindavan, everyone. Isn't it? But Navadvipa, Brahmaji himself told in the Brahma Samhita. What happens if you stay in Navadvipa? Yesterday I told. If you remember Navadvipa-dhama, all your offenses will be removed. your sinful activities will go away. What is the difference between pap, sinful activities, and aparadha, offenses? If you don't follow the rules of the scriptures, this is pap, sinful activities. The rules given in the scriptures, vidis. If you don't follow this is you're committing sin. For example, Shastra said, you should not hate anyone. You should not be violent towards anyone. You should not kill any living being, not even killing cows. It's a sin to kill any living being. So these are sinful activities. But the pap, the sinful activities are very easily destroyed. Shastra explains, gives example. To be free from the sin, what should you do? Praschit. You have to do praschit, that means atonement. For example, if knowingly or unknowingly you have killed the cow, gohatta. Like you're driving the car and then suddenly a cow came. Cow came in front of the car. It was not your desire to kill the cow, but the cow suddenly came in front of the car, and then suddenly you killed the cow accidentally, and then you got the sinful activities of killing the cow. So Shastra explains, you need to do praschita. You should not eat with your hands. You have to eat only with your mouth. It's one kind of atonement. Eating without using the hands. You cook some gritanna. Gita-ana means you cook with ghee. Rice with ghee. You cook that. Then you eat only once a day. Once a day. It's called Chandrayana Praschita. Anyway, many kinds of atonements given in the scriptures. What I want to say is that if unknowingly you have committed some sin, Shastra describes how you have to do atonement. And in this way your sinful activities will be destroyed. But the tendency to sin will not go away. The tendency to commit sinful activities will not be removed. How this will go away? The tendency to commit sinful activities will only go if you chant the holy names. Only then can this go away. In the Srimati Bhagavatam, it's explained. Just like if you burn the bamboo forests, all the bamboos, they will be burned. But again, in the rainy season again, because of the drizzling, like the light rain, all the bamboos will again grow back. What is the meaning? The sin is destroyed, but the tendency to sin, it's not destroyed. The tendency to sin is not destroyed. In the story of Ajamil, Shukadeva Goswami told the story of Ajamil to Parikshit Maharaj. That's why the story explains this. Parikshit Maharaj exactly asked this question. the tendency to commit sinful activities, how this can be removed, destroyed. Then Shukadeva told the story of Ajamil. Bhagavatam explains. Just Benu means bamboos. Just like if you burn the bamboo forest. Externally it is turned to ashes. But again in the rainy season, because of the light rain, drizzling rain, after 1 or 2 months, again the forest of bamboo is completely what? Full. Because of the roots of the bamboo under the soil. I mean under the earth, under the ground. But if you uproot the bamboo's roots, if you take it out, remove it completely, then even though there will be rain, the bamboos will not grow back because the roots are not there anymore. What is the meaning? The tendency to sin, which is in the heart of the living entity. How can this be thrown away? Only by the holy names. Only by the holy names. Especially in Kali Yuga, these holy names can destroy the tendency to sin in the heart of the living entities. Otherwise, no. So I thought, because sometimes knowingly or unknowingly you commit a sinful activity, then what to do? You do some atonement. But still, your tendency to sin will not be removed just by the prashchitta. Only the sin will be destroyed, not the tendency to sin. So to destroy the tendency to sin, you need to chant holy names. That's why Shukadeva Goswami told the story of Ajamil to Parikshit Maharaj. Only by chanting. If you chant, your sin will be destroyed, the sins, and at the same time, the aparadhas will also be destroyed. But what is aparadha? Apagata radha priti jasmat iti aparadha. Apagata means radha means priti, love. So something which removes your love. This is aparadha. For example, when the love goes away, means you're doing aparadha. If you don't have love for the Vaishnavas, you're doing Vaishnava-aparadha. If you don't have love for the Dham, you're committing nama-aparadha. If you don't have love for the holy names, you're doing nama-aparadha. You will commit nama-aparadha. If you don't have love for the Vaishnavas, you will commit Vaishnava-aparadha. Radha means also seva. You know, the word Radha comes from the word Rad, which also means service. Many meanings and explanations are there. Why does the name of Radha is Radha? Because why her name is Radha? Because she's the embodiment of the service to Krishna. She serves in a way that no one can serve as her. You'll be able to serve if you know the heart of the person you are serving to. Then you can serve properly. Isn't it? If you don't have realization of the person's heart, how can you serve? You're doing something, okay, you're imposing aropha. It's also good. After all, there are 3 stages of Bhakti: aropha-siddha Bhakti, then sanga-siddha Bhakti, and svarupa-siddha Bhakti. You cannot jump and jump straight to svarupa-siddha bhakti. You cannot do that. You can't jump. You cannot jump to sanga-siddha as well. Everything has their level, step by step, following the rules. So Radha means love and service. Srimati Radhika is directly the pranay vikar, the personification of the transformations of love towards Krishna. Anyway, I was speaking about aparadha. I want to highlight about aparadha. Okay, the sins are destroyed, but the tendency to sin is not destroyed. But aparadha? What is aparadha? Let's discuss. If you do anything related to God and His devotees, that is something which shows your lack of love towards God and His devotees. This is aparadha. Apritikarka means something, some activity which shows your lack of love, or some activity lacking of love towards God and His devotees. This is aparadha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained very beautifully, very easy and directly he explains. There's one offense. Bhagavata-svarupa means to commit offense directly to the form of God directly. If you see God in front of you, then you commit offense to Him. This is very dangerous offense. It's a very dangerous offense. What is the terminology? So one offense is seva-aparadha towards the deity, vigraha-seva. Vigraha, nam, and svarupa. If you commit to nam, svarupa-aparadha, this is terrible, most dangerous. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote this about this in the Bhagavata-nama. But you're not reading, you're not studying. So you're telling me, tell me this katha. I'll tell this katha to you. Which katha? What's the katha? You want to hear about the gopis? You want to hear about the gopis? But without knowing about aparadhas, you can never get benefit to hearing about the gopis. That's why we have to study very nicely the book Bhagavata-nama, especially about these aparadhas. Give up the positive, and you have to come in the negatives. Like, for example, the aparadhas. What are the aparadhas? So, vigraha-seva aparadha, svarupa-aparadha. Anyway, for example, if you do nama-aparadha by chanting the holy names, your offenses to the holy names will be destroyed. If you commit seva-aparadha, offense to the deity, after serving, you should recite stava-stutis prayers, like the pujari. There's a rule. After serving, you should recite some prayers to the deity, apologizing for your offenses you might have committed during the service. And then after reciting the stutis, these prayers, apologizing prayers, then these offenses will go away. Seva-aparadha will go away. You are not a mukta purush. So if you do some service, somehow you're committing also some offense. But while you serve the deity, you commit these offenses, but in Archanipka is mentioning, after you put the deity to sleep, you should do stutis prayers apologizing for any offense. Then the deity is like, okay, it's unknowingly offense is no problem, okay, and the deity forgives. It's like you cook for the deity, or too much chili you put, or too much salt, less salt, for example. If you pray to the deity will forgive you for your mistakes. Deity will accept your apology request. When you chant holy names also, you commit offenses to the holy names. But if you chant Nirantar incessantly, your offenses to the holy names will be destroyed. You know the meaning of Eran in this verse? Means you'll not be spared. If you commit offense to Harinam, by chanting your offense will be destroyed. But if you commit offense to Vaishnavas, you'll not be spared. Means you need to serve the Vaishnavas. So by the service and chanting holy names, these offenses are destroyed. But svarupa-aparadha, this is very very dangerous, very dangerous. Bhagavata-svarupa-aparadha means commit offense directly to God. Like when God directly appears in this world and you do offense to Him directly, you know. So because God is always like in the form of Nam, holy names, vigraha deity, but Swarupa, His own form. For example, when Mahaprabhu was on earth, he told his own mother. Mahaprabhu told mother, I'll always be present in 3 forms. In the form of my name, my deity, and the Swarup, my own form. Nam, Vigraha, Swarup. 3 are same. Tiner hoy ek rup. Nam, Vigraha, Swarup, Tiner hoy ek rup. The 3 are same. Okay, but still we see some speciality in the holy names. So if you chant holy names incessantly, your nama-aparadha will be removed. If you serve the deity, your offenses to the deity will be destroyed. So when you serve the deity and then you pray to the deity that Stuti is apologizing, your offenses will be removed. But offense to the Swarup, directly to God in front of you, you know how to be free from this offense. Okay, I give you an example. One day Mahaprabhu was sleeping in the Gambhira. You know how are the Lilas of Gaurasunda, but knowingly, Mahaprabhu was laying just across the door of the Gambhira, that small place, Gambhira. He was just sleeping across the door. You know, Govinda, every day he had this rule, like every day when Mahaprabhu used to sleep, he used to massage his lotus feet. And without serving his lotus feet, massaging the feet of Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu wouldn't feel sleepy, wouldn't feel the desire to sleep. I saw in the time of Gurudeva. Also, Gurudeva, if we wouldn't massage his feet, he wouldn't want to sleep. He wouldn't feel like sleeping. Anyway, I saw this in Gurudev also. So Mahaprabhu had this, Govinda had this habit. Every day massage his feet of Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu also would only sleep if somebody would massage his feet. But this day Mahaprabhu was sleeping across the door. And you know, Mahaprabhu's height was 4 hands. Means the measurement of the tip of your So generally everyone is 3.5 hands. So you take the measurement from the tip of your finger until your elbow. This is one hand, let's say like this. So everyone is 3.5. 3.5, even a small baby. But Mahaprabhu was 4 times his own hand. Means the measurement from his elbow to the tip of his finger. So the tip of the finger until the elbow. Don't feel this. Do you have one more? This? So no one give them. No one is height is higher than 3.5 their own measurements of hand. Hand means tip of the finger until elbow. But Mahaprabhu was 4 times this height. Anyway. Okay, so according to the everyday habit, every day Govinda used to massage Mahaprabhu's feet. But how he would massage if Mahaprabhu was just lying across the door? He would have to jump over Mahaprabhu to get to his feet, and this is an offense. We should never step on the shadow of a Vaishnava and of a Tulasi also. It's an offense to step. So you're doing Tulasi parikrama. If you step on the shadow of Tulasi, it's an offense. And you should give attention to this, a lot of attention. Not like, oh, I'm absorbing bhav and I step whatever. No. Can I? Even the Vaishnavas explain. Even the shadow of Guru Vaishnavas also. If you step on the shadow, is also an offense. So you should never step on what to speak of putting your feet on the body of the Vaishnava. Even in the shadow of the Vaishnava. You should not touch his shadow with your foot. Otherwise it's an offense. So Mahaprabhu, knowingly, he was sleeping across the door. So okay, Govinda served one part of his body, but how to get to the other part of his body, which was inside the door, and he was just laying across the door. Mahaprabhu is directly Bhagavan. What to do? So he had to serve. So he just put one cloth over the body of Mahaprabhu. He covered his body and then he jumped over his body. He went inside the Gambira and then he served the feet of Mahaprabhu. Anyway, served his body and massaged his body. Then midnight. Then it was midnight. Mahaprabhu woke up. Govinda, have you taken prasad? No, Prabhu, I have not. Why? I came here to serve you, so I did not take prasad. Why didn't you take prasad? You should take prasad. Why didn't you take? Prabhu, I came to serve your lotus feet inside Gambira. How would I go away? Get out. How would I go out from the Gambira? Then Mahaprabhu asked, okay, you're wondering how would you go out from the Gambira, but how did you come inside? Then Govinda said, I came inside the Gambira to serve you. So I just covered your body with a cloth and I crossed over your body and came inside to serve you, to massage your feet. Mahaprabhu told, okay, the same, way how you came inside, you should have come out. And this is the logic, right? Logical thought. Mahaprabhu said, you should go out in the same way as you came inside, like you cover my body with a cloth, and again you go out. But Govinda gave a beautiful tattva-siddhanta in his answer. He said, Prabhu, okay, to cross over your body, it's an offense. But for your own service, I came here. So I accept this offense. But how will I go out? If I come out of this place now, it will be to eat, like to get. So there is some selfishness because it's for me to eat. So this is an offense. How this offense will be destroyed? This offense to Swarupa. When I came inside, it was to serve you. But if I go out, this will be for my own right to eat. That's why I thought, I'll wait here until you wake up or until you get out of the door. Until you move. You see, Mahaprabhu is giving teaching to the sadhakas. All these Lilas, they are showing so many things to us. Mahaprabhu knows, of course, he's Swayam Bhagavan. But he's testing Govinda. You came to serve me, but if you go to eat, so this is some selfishness, so then this offense. Because if you do something for your own, then it's offense. When he came, it was offense. When he came, also was offense, but you said Sukar kar diya?
He crossed the Lord Chaitanya inside. Also that's offense. But that offense for regard
Seva.
Okay. And when he also crossed his body and coming outside, then for your own
so he had come inside the Gambira to serve, but if he would go out of the Gambira, would be to eat, like to get his food, to eat. So some selfishness, right? Because to eat his own food, like to eat. So the first offense, so two are offenses, to come in and to come out, both are offenses because you're crossing the body of God. But if you come to serve, if you cross the body to serve, this is not so dangerous. This is more relaxed. But when he would go out and cross over his body to eat, like to get his own food, to eat. So for some selfish desire, then this is very dangerous. Like I need to eat, I need to sleep. This is for your own, right? Mahaprabhu gave so many beautiful teachings through all his devotees. By these different pastimes, he's giving teaching to us. Teachings. Even small things, you have to be attentive. Give attention. Bhakti. Like, for example, sometimes you say, I'm here for so long time and nothing's happening with me. Actually, so many people ask me this question. So many things. Nothing has happened with me and I'm like here for a long time. Like in the Bhakti. Then I ask, okay, how much have you done? Check it. Check it out. But if you say you're doing, then it is going on. Just take some time. You cannot say Bhakti has not come to you, but also consider how much you're doing. If you perform Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya will come. Check if Jnana and Vairagya are coming or not. If they are not coming, maybe there's a hole in your practice, means offenses. Like this, Gurudev said, this example of the story shows that you have to give attention to small things. Because Bhakti depends on also this. You have to be careful with all these things. Anyway, if you go to Navadvipa-dhama, how to be free from the offenses, right? Shastra already gives injunctions in the Shastra how to be free from the sins, but how the offenses will be removed. That's why Gaurasundara himself, with his divine and transcendental, he brought his divine and transcendental Shatadvip-dhama to this material world, Gaura-dhama. So the speciality of Gaura-dhama. What is the speciality of Gaura-dhama? The offenses are destroyed. Jagai Madai, they behaved in such a way with Nityananda Prabhu. But you see, Nityananda Prabhu did not take their offenses. They did offense, they committed. This is also svarupa-aparadha, because they commit offense direct to the form of Nityananda Prabhu, directly to him, like person. You know, with a clay pot, they hit his head. The clay pot was broken because of this impact, and also the head of Nityananda, his forehead was wounded, even bleeding. This is an offense or not? The offenses are more dangerous than the sins. But here we see that they did not take the offensive. The conditioned souls have so many offenses. They are all the time committing offenses. Like sometimes you say, Maharaj, please don't take my offenses. And I say, how much will I take of your offenses? How much will I take of all your offenses? Sometimes you say, Maharaj, please don't take my offense. And I'm like, how much will I take? Like, how many offenses I will take? Because the jivas are always committing so many offenses. That's why in the Lila of Mahaprabhu, we see one thing. How they are not accepting the offenses. Because if they accept the offenses, it's something very dangerous. Offenses were like when you do something knowingly. You know, for example, Jagai Madai. But you see, they behaved in a very wrong way with Nityananda Prabhu. But they were not doing that in their natural stage. Do you understand? Their natural condition of consciousness. They were not in their natural condition. Who? Jagai Madai. They were drunk. They were drunk. Dizzy. They were in another world. You know, when you drink, you go to another world. Isn't it? Those who drink, they know. Where do you go to when you drink? Anyway, they were in another place. Like, because you go, like your perception is different when you drink. If somebody in their natural consciousness performs some offense, then this is different. They were completely drunk when they did that to Nityananda Prabhu. Krishna-das Kaviraj Goswami says, I am worse than Jagai Madai. I'm worse than the wool storm. Sorry, the insect of the stool worm. If anybody says my name, all his punya karma is destroyed. Who will be more merciful to me than Nityananda Prabhu? Krishna-das Kaviraj Goswami told these verses with so much humility. If we say these verses, it's only for our own name, fame, reputation. Generally, we want that our name be glorified. But you see, Krishna-das Kaviraj Goswami is saying, oh, if you say my name, you get sinful activities. Sorry? But you see, Krishna-das Kaviraj Goswami, he's so humble. Who would be merciful to me, only Nityananda Prabhu, because somebody who speaks my name becomes full of sins, somebody who listens my name goes to hell. I am worse than the stool worm, and then worse than Jagai Madai. The jivas in this world, they are committing so many offenses. They are committing offenses and offenses, what to do. But Guru and Vaishnava, Bhagavan are not accepting these offenses. They do not accept. But their footdust, they will not spare you. Do you understand? This is also, we see also this consideration. The footdust will not spare you. Anyway, let's continue. In Kali Yuga, Gaura Hari, he was considering how these jivas of Kali Yuga can be free from the offenses. That's why Mahaprabhu, he brought his transcendental abode, Navadvipa-dhama. He manifested his own abode in this material world in his own form. Mahaprabhu is Audarjamai Vigraha, the embodiment of magnanimity and compassion. So just like the water can increase the volume of the water, like when the more I speak, I want to speak more also. More water? Okay. So Mahaprabhu is magnanimous, yes, but at once, 7 Bhava Madhuryas, like Mahaprabhu, at the same time he manifests 7 Bhava Madhuryas in the heart of the devotee. At the same time, 7 Bhava Madhuryas he manifests in the heart of the devotee. Mahaprabhu does that. What are these 7 Bhava Madhuryas? So this is a speciality bit of Mahaprabhu. So Sarya, Swarupa. You can see this in the Madhura Kadambini book. In that book, Vishwanath Chakravarti described so well. So Kumarja, his tender age. So Sarja, the beautiful sound of his voice. His voice is so sweet. So beautiful voice. Krishna is also very sweet, but not as like Mahaprabhu. Like because Mahaprabhu at the same time, this 7 sweetness he manifests in the heart of the devotee at the same time. At the same time, the 7 sweetness. This is also Audarja, means this magnanimous, so generous, because at the same time he's manifesting this 7 sweetness in the heart of the devotee. So Sarja, so Kumarja. In the Madhura Kadambini, this is explained. The beautiful sound of his voice. With this beautiful sound of his voice, he's calling the devotees. That's why, you know, the story of Durvasa Rishi, when he came to Vrindavan, in Nanda Gokul, Krishna was playing. And then Durvasa saw Krishna and he became stunned by the prema. The verse explains, Itam Satam Brahma. This sloka is explaining Sakyaras. Shukadeva Goswami told Maharaj Pariksit, look at the good fortune of the friends of Krishna, how fortunate they are. The Advaitavadis, impersonalists, they are performing some like austerities and other things. They want to merge in Brahma. Itam Satam. Satam means sadhu. Which kind of sadhu? Brahmagyani sadhu. Those who want to merge in Brahma. Those who are endeavoring to merge in Brahma. they, some have merged in the Brahma, those who submerged in Brahma, in the effulgence of the Lord. And others who are endeavoring to do that. For example, Sanak, Sanandana, Sanatana, the four Kumaras, Chatushan. They were endeavoring to merge in Brahma, but Brahmaji prayed to Bhagavan, "Oh, my four sons, they are going to a terrible path. If they go, it is not easy to come back from that place. Very hard. It's very hard to come out from the Brahma effulgence. If once you go there, it's so hard to come out." That's why Brahmaji, what did he do? He prayed to the feet of Bhagavan, "Oh, please, protect my sons from the merging in Brahma." Bhagavan heard the prayer of Brahmaji. Then Bhagavan sent the scent of the Tulasi offered to his lotus feet. Bhagavan sent that scent to the nostrils of the four Kumaras. The scent entered their nostrils. So this smell of the Tulasi Makaranda means the Tulasi offered to the feet of God is so sweet. The four Kumaras decided to give up the meditation, give up the Brahma, and they ran towards God. This scent is so sweet, unimaginable, beyond our imagination. So they ran towards Vaikuntha, from where that smell was coming from, that scent. You know the story is there, and the Jai Vijay stopped them to come inside, like this. So why I was saying this? So Kumarja, so Sarja, Saurabha. Oh yes, Saurabha means the sweet smell from the God's body, the body of Mahaprabhu. So Saurabha. His form is so beautiful. If you see his form, you can never go back to your house. You cannot move your eyes. You will just staring. Eyes not go here and there. Okay, if you put your eyes in him, in God's form, you cannot look to any other direction after. Like our eyes are going here and there, looking. Left side, right side, in front, in back. Isn't it? Our eyes are moving. But Bhagavan, if you see him, your eyes will just stare continuously. His form is so beautiful. His lavanya, you know, the effulgence of his body, so much glow. You cannot take your eyes away from him. His form is so beautiful. If you see his form, you'll never go back to your house. Your family life is completely destroyed. So if you want to enjoy with your family and friends, never go to Mathura and Vrindavan. Because if you see his form, you'll never go back to your house. His form is so beautiful. You cannot put your eyes away. If once your eyes come on him, like look at him, you'll never look at anything else. You know that story, the new bride, Navali new bride. The new bride came to her in-laws. So she got married last night. And what happened? In Braj. So she heard that Govinda was going for cow grazing. Everybody became so much agitated and because Govinda was going for cow grazing. Every day in Braj this is going on. Everyone was standing outside their doors to see Govinda going for cow grazing. Shukadeva Goswami explains, to see Govinda is a party for the eyes of the gopis every day. Nayan Utsav means the gopis, they feel this happiness and it's like a party for them. What? To see Krishna. You know, Utsav, happiness, like a party, festivity, celebration. So just the fact of Govinda is coming. Even everybody becomes so excited to see him. Okay, so this old lady, this mother-in-law, told to the daughter-in-law, to this new bride wife, don't go out. You cannot go out of the house. You have to stay inside. Come inside. Because the old lady said, you stay inside, I'll go out. Because she wanted to see Krishna also. The old lady wanted to see him. And the mother-in-law didn't even see when the daughter-in-law came in right behind her also to see Krishna. Daughter-in-law came out of the house to see Krishna. Krishna is so beautiful, so beautiful. They were just staring. And Krishna passed by them with his friends. The old lady. When the old lady looked behind, she saw, hey, you came. I told you not to come out. I told you. But the new bride, this daughter-in-law, she had become this is Sanskrit. In Hindi words, no, like a statue. Anyway, she was completely stunned. Her not even blinking. She was not blinking. She was not listening to anything. Completely stunned. Even her eyes were not blinking. Imagine. Because something amazing happens when you see Govinda. Not even her eyes were blinking. The old lady said, that's why I told you not to come out. Go. So the mother-in-law was trying to move, to shake the body of the daughter-in-law. And she was dead, not moving. If somebody is sleeping, have you seen somebody sleep with his eyes open? Some people sleep with eyes open and they not blink. The eyes don't blink because the person is sleeping. And you can even move your hand in front of the eyes of the person, the eyes will also not blink. Old lady said, this is not the son of Nanda Maharaj, it's the ghost of Nanda Maharaj. It's not the son, it's the ghost. Just like the person becomes possessed by the ghost, you also became same because you saw Krishna. He's not Nanda ki Put, not the son of Nanda, he's the Bhut of Nanda, the ghost of Nanda Maharaj. Anyway, somehow the mother-in-law was trying to shake the body of the daughter-in-law. Then she a little bit woke up from but she couldn't walk. Because if someone has the mind stolen by Krishna, someone has the mind stolen by Krishna, the person's mind is gone. So your feet cannot walk because your mind is taken. So what to do? Anyway, the old lady shook the body, like a little bit, moved the body of the daughter-in-law and said, do some work, go. Okay, do one thing. There's a pot of yogurt inside. You should churn it. Okay, so the mother-in-law put the pot of yogurt, this, and the stick to churn the yogurt, and that rope also is there, right? In the hand of the daughter-in-law. Mother-in-law arranged for the daughter-in-law to churn the yogurt. Okay, sorry. Nearby there was also a pot of mustard seeds. Clay pot full of mustard seeds. I saw in my house. We used to put everything in clay pots. The clay pot used to stay in one clay pot. The rice used to stay in clay pot. Mustard seeds also. Everything was kept in clay pots in my house also. In the villages, it's like this. No, everything is put in the clay pots. So mother-in-law told, take the clay pot of yogurt and churn it. But the daughter-in-law did not bring the pot of yogurt. She brought the mustard seed pot. And then she put the churning stick inside the mustard seeds pot and started to move it. Then all the mustard seeds scattered and spilled out from the clay pot, and it was a mess. After some minutes, old lady came back. Hey, I told you to churn the yogurt. What are you doing? What are you doing? But the girl didn't even hear, like the daughter-in-law didn't even hear. If rice or wheat falls down scattered, it's very easy to gather the grains. But mustard seed, if you try to move, gather the mustard seeds, they will go more far. It's very hard. Try to put some mustard seeds here, scattered. And if you try to gather them together, it's very hard. They're going more away and very hard. So, okay, mother-in-law gave another task. Okay, bring water from the well. So she gave one pot, a pot for taking the water, and also some rope to bring the water. A pot with some rope. So the neighbor had one baby. So this daughter-in-law brought this baby along because of not going alone anywhere. So that's why she brought this small baby. So she was carrying the pot with the rope in one hand and another hand carrying the baby on her lap. But she was so absorbed thinking about Krishna. She came next to the well. She kept the pot near the edge of the well, and then she put the rope in the neck of the baby, and she was throwing the baby inside the well. And then somebody saw this. What are you doing, woman? You're binding the rope in the neck of the baby and throwing him inside the well. One lady came running to rescue the baby, otherwise the baby would be thrown inside the well and would die. So I'm saying this because Govinda has such a beautiful form. If once you see him, like you'll be thinking about him continuously. For the sadhaka also, this is like upasana, meditation. Two kinds of upasana. One is mantramaya upasana and another sarasiki upasana. While chanting holy names, you think about all these things. So you have to think about these Leelas while chanting. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, remember these Leelas while chanting the holy names, and very quickly you will attain Krishna Prem and the wealth of Prem. So you have to think about all these Leelas while you chant the holy names. So beautiful. So what is the fault in thinking about these things? You can think while you chant. This is the process of how to chant. Oh yeah, I was talking about how Durvasa Rishi came to Vrindavan, and at the time he saw baby Krishna. Like Krishna was like a young child, and he was speaking with his friends. And when Durvasa Rishi heard the sound of the voice of Krishna, such a beautiful and sweet sound, Durvasa became so stunned, just staring to Krishna, staring at him, staring at him. And Bhagavan was also performing these Leelas. He was having some quarrel with his friends, discussing, like quarreling over who had won the game. Krishna said, I won. So Balshudev said, you lost, you were defeated. Who would judge? So you have to go to the sadhu for him to decide who won. The sadhu will give the conclusion. Oh, there's a sadhu there. One sadhu with a beard, big beard. Beard sadhu. Generally people say somebody with big beards, they think they are sadhus. If a sadhu is like shaving, they don't think he's sadhu. Generally people think a sadhu is someone with beard. Nowadays people are like this also. They don't see if the person is doing bhajan or not, but how long is the beard of the person. And also, I'm not criticizing, but upar ke? Jata. And also dreadlocks. Sometimes also too for Tulasi malas on the head, very thick Tulasi malas they put also on the hair. People see this, they think, oh, they are sadhus. This person is a sadhu. Then the Sakas and Krishna, they said, oh, there is one sadhu with big beard nearby. Let's ask him. So Krishna came and said, hey, sadhu with beard, who won? Who was defeated? Who lost in the game? But you know, the sweet sound of Krishna's voice is like so sweet. It's called so sarja. So sweet. Durvasa became stunned hearing that sound. He could not move. He was just staring, listening continuously. Krishna said, Baba Sadhu, tell us who won, who lost the game. Durvasa could not even speak. Then Krishna sat on his lap. Krishna sat on the lap of Durvasa. You know, Durvasa had a big beard, and then Krishna was pulling his beard to the side, one side and one side, and then moving the head of Durvasa. Okay, so Govinda Darshan, the beautiful form of Krishna, the beautiful sound of his voice, it's so sweet. Extremely sweet. Okay, but in Mahaprabhu, at the same time, Mahaprabhu gives all this 7 sweetness in the heart of the devotee at the same time. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Audarjamai Vigraha, the embodiment of the Audarya, magnanimity and munificence. In the Madhura Kadambini book, Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad describes this Audarya. Why Mahaprabhu is Audarya Mai Vigraha? Because at the same time he's giving this Saurabhya, Sauswarya, Swakumarya, etc. in the heart of the devotee at the same time. That's why Mahaprabhu is called Audarjamai Vigraha. Huh? In the book Madhura Kadambini, all this is described. I'm not telling in sequence, but there are beautiful explanations about all this in the Madhura Kadambini, giving one example. Starting from Rat, then Rati, then Bhav, then Prema, and all these stages. And when the mercy of Mahaprabhu comes to you, this is not describing about Krishna, but about Mahaprabhu specifically. At the same time, Mahaprabhu gives the 7 sweetness, and the devotee feels so much bliss. So the jivas of Kali Yuga, they have so many offenses. But still, Mahaprabhu is giving to these fallen jivas something which is rare even for great demigods. We cannot even imagine what is this. How Mahaprabhu is merciful, so merciful, compassionate. Krishna is not as merciful as Mahaprabhu. Krishna is not as merciful as Mahaprabhu. Krishna gave also prem, but only in Vrindavan. But Mahaprabhu gave everywhere. And at the same time, all these 7 sweetness I told. This is the speciality of Mahaprabhu. Why do we worship Mahaprabhu? Shastra describes that we should worship Krishna. Oh, Krishna. Sorry, some people say Mahaprabhu came only 500 years ago. Where was he before that? People say this. They ask these controversial or unnecessary questions. Where was Mahaprabhu before coming here? But the specialty of Mahaprabhu is so beautiful. So Nityananda told Jiva Goswami, क्या बताया Nityananda? Vrindavana is contained in Navadvipa-dhama. Generally, we see some difference, and we see this distance, physical distance between Navadvipa and Vrindavan. Like 2,000 kilometers set them apart. But in the transcendental world, it's not like this. It's just like 2 sides of the same coin. 2 sides of the same coin. The Lila is going on like this. Madhurya Lila and Audarya Lila. Audarya Lila is Gaura Lila, and Madhurya Lila, Krishna Lila. It's just like Alava Chakra, like if you take a torch with fire and move very quickly, it looks like a circle of fire. But Gaura Lila is there's so much bliss in Gaura Lila. You cannot even describe with words. Shastra explains. is that verse? Anandamaya vigraha-seva. Do you remember this verse? Ananda Lilamaya Vigraha. What is it? Shloka. Not here. Sorry, not here. When the desire of Mahaprabhu will be there, then this transcendental Dham will manifest in the world. The transcendental Dham is always manifest. What did he say? Sometimes. कभी-कभी क्या?
कभी-कभी गुप्त रूप में रहता है.
This Prakat Dham.
प्रकट धाम.
Sometimes the Dham becomes manifested, sometimes he manifested this Prakat Dham. Sometimes it becomes hidden, sometimes manifest again. Vrindavan and Navadvipa are one. Krishna does not give one step out of Vrindavan. Krishna doesn't go anywhere outside Vrindavan, not even one step. In the same way, Navadvipa-dhama is the Dham of Gaurasundar. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu does not go anywhere outside Navadvipa. He does not leave his Dham. Oh, but you can say he took sannyas and left. Isn't it? Narahari Sarkar gives a beautiful explanation. In the transcendental Golok Vrindavan, so Navadvipa Lila was going on here. In Aprakat Goloka Vrindavan, the gopis, they were looking what Mahaprabhu was doing in his pastimes. They're looking. Just like if you're looking from the second floor towards down. So imagine up is Vrindavan. Just trying to explain. And down here, it's Lila in Navadvipa-dhama in this world. They saw how Mahaprabhu took sannyas from Keshav Bharati and was absorbed in bhav, crying and so the gopis were in Aprakat Goloka Vrindavan and they were watching, they were looking. And then one gopi told another gopi, Pashyati Sakhi, look my friend, something amazing I saw. Look at Prithvi Loka, means look at Bhama Navadvipa-dhama. Do you understand? Pashyati Sakhi, look my friend, look, what? Our beloved Govinda is in Navadvipa-dhama and he took sannyas and he's absorbed in bhav, calling out, Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna. After taking sannyas, Mahaprabhu raised his arms and he was calling out for Krishna, Ha Krishna. Nityananda Prabhu pacified all the Navadvipa-vasis. Mahaprabhu didn't come back to Navadvipa-dhama because a sannyasi should never stay in his own birthplace, village. But Nityananda Prabhu told, I will bring Gaurasundar back. Do you understand? So Nityananda went when when Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was raising his two arms, calling out Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna, performing pastimes like a human being. He was eager to see Govinda, Govinda darshan. When Govinda will give me darshan? So he was running, calling the name of Vrindavan. Nityananda Prabhu, what did he do? He went before Mahaprabhu on the same path, but he went ahead. There's one consideration here. So the form of Mahaprabhu taking his sannyasi form is so beautiful. First of all, he has a beautiful effulgence, transcendental, molten gold effulgence, long arms. At the time, his head was shaved. So beautiful his head, shining head, shining. You know, the Western devotees also, when they shave on the Purnima day, we can see also like this shining, like the moon rays shining on the forehead, like the moon rays of the moon. The moon rays are dancing on the head of the Western devotees when they shave. With me, this does not happen, but only with the Western devotees. So, for Mahaprabhu also, he shaved, so this divine glow was coming. This radiance coming from his head. So beautiful. His half-closed eyes. He was just calling out, Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna, Ha Vrindavan, and just like this and go. Nityananda went ahead Mahaprabhu, ahead of Mahaprabhu. Some people saw Mahaprabhu at this time. You know, those who saw the form of Mahaprabhu sannyasi, they became also crazy. The person is thinking, what did I see? What did I see? Those who saw. Like one person is asking 10 other people, have you seen Gaurasundar? Have you seen Gaurasundar? Still the person saw and is asking, have you seen Gaurasundar? He's so beautiful, he's so beautiful. There's one Kirtan in Bengali describing this, what I'm saying. So the person saw Gaurasundar and is asking 10 times to others also. So I ask many times, not only once. Because the person felt so much bliss in seeing Mahaprabhu. Anyway, so Nityananda Prabhu went ahead of Mahaprabhu. There was some cowherd boys playing. Then he said, oh, there is a sannyasi coming. And they will ask you, the sannyasi will ask you, how far is Vrindavan? Nityananda told these cowherd boys. Then you should tell him, hey new sannyasi, you are in the wrong way. Actually, Vrindavan is the way back, in the way back. So these cowherd boys, they were trained by Nityananda, trained. These cowherd boys who were playing. When they saw Mahaprabhu, they saw him as Bal Gopal. Rakal Bal? They were. So the cowherd boys wanted to embrace Mahaprabhu. The calves were also coming to Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu was thinking, I am Vrindavan. Still, Mahaprabhu asked them, how far is Vrindavan now? But, you know, these cowherd boys had been trained by Nityananda. So they told, hey, new sannyasi, you were absorbed in Bhava and you didn't pay attention. Actually, Vrindavan is way back, not here. What? Vrindavan is way back? I came out of Vrindavan. Like I passed through the Vrindavan. Yes. So when they told this, then Mahaprabhu went in the back direction and ran and came to next to the Ganga. And Nityananda quickly went to Shantipur and informed to Advaitacharya. Arrange a cloth for Mahaprabhu and a boat, door kopin, loincloth, everything for Mahaprabhu. So Advaitacharya brought the boat. So I arranged a new cloth for Mahaprabhu, saffron cloth, saffron color cloth. So Mahaprabhu came calling out Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna, Ha Vrindavan. And then finally he saw Advaitacharya standing on the boat, and Nityananda Prabhu also. Mahaprabhu said, Hey Sripad, telling to Nityananda, you have arrived in Vrindavan before me. And Advaitacharya said, Hey Prabhu, wherever Krishna is, that place is Vrindavan. Means you are Krishna. Whatever you are, that place is Vrindavan. Mahaprabhu was so absorbed in bhav. After some time, his bhav became a little bit shrunken, like a little bit down. Then Mahaprabhu looked at the other side of the Ganges. He saw big coconut trees. If you go to Navadvipa-dhama, you see these kind of trees, coconut trees. Where? This is Shantipur. This is a mango tree, coconut tree. In Vrindavan, there are no this kind of trees. Mango tree and a coconut tree in Vrindavan. Actually, there is a little bit few of these trees nowadays, but generally not. And Mahaprabhu said, Hey Nitai, I was going to Vrindavan and you have made me come back. Advaitacharya told, Hey Prabhu, wherever you are, that place is Vrindavan. This is the Ganga. Look Prabhu, but the Jamuna is also there. So hearing the name of Jamuna, Mahaprabhu became absorbed in the bhav. Mahaprabhu jumped in the water. And he fell in the water. Somehow, they took him out of the water. And Mahaprabhu put Mahaprabhu in the boat, on the boat. So Advaitacharya had a new cloth for Mahaprabhu. Loincloth, door kopin. They put this cloth on Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu was in the boat. Advaitacharya brought Mahaprabhu to his own house in Shantipur. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, all this is beautifully described. Mahaprabhu was absorbed in bhav, absorbed in gopi bhav, the mood of Srimati Radhika. Mahaprabhu told, tell me some kirtan. Sing for me. Knowing the mood of Mahaprabhu, Advaitacharya started to sing this kirtan. If you offer me many jewels for me to give my beloved back to you, like in exchange of these jewels, I'll never do that. Because I love my beloved just like an umbrella in the rain, just like the blanket in the cold, just like the wind in the summertime. Anyway, when the beloved finds the beloved after intense separation, long separation, how Srimati Radhika express her mood? In these verses, Srimati Radhika expresses her moods after long separation. When finally she meets again her beloved. All the friends of Srimati Radhika are gathered, all the girlfriends, and then they ask, "Hey Radhe, tell us, what do you feel? Which kind of happiness you feel when you meet your beloved Govinda?" And Srimati Radhika expresses her mood. I feel so much bliss, so much happiness. If somebody offers me loads of jewels and gems and say, "Hey Radhe, in exchange of these jewels, just give me your Madhav for 2 days." Srimati Radhika says, "You can offer me anything, but I'll not give my Madhav away. I'll never give up Govinda." How is my beloved to me? It's so beautiful. One Sakhi asked Srimati Radhika, "Hey Radhe, tell us, why would you not give up your beloved for money in exchange?" Because generally people, they go to Western countries or to other places to get money, to collect money, to earn money. Like everybody wants money. Then they come back to their own countries and they enjoy with the money they collected. This is true. For example, there in America, there's dollars, euro. In Europe, 1 pound is 100 rupees. 1 pound only. So you bring 1 pound and you get 100 rupees. Like the money there is much more valuable, like their currency. So that's why people want to go. And you don't even need to buy rice. Even government gives you so much food and so many things there. Anyway, I'm just saying. So why people go to far places to earn money and then they come back to enjoy with the money they've collected abroad? Srimati Radhika say, "I don't want this money, this wealth. I just want Krishna Prema-dhan." Because if somebody attains Krishna Prema-dhan, there's nothing else in this world worth. How is my beloved Govinda? In the winter season, there's so much wind. Like imagine the places where it snows or too much cold. You're like, you're freezing. Isn't it? When I was small, young, I had to go to school and it's like suffering because of the cold. Freezing. Trembling because of the cold. So cold. Nowadays, I think everything is more hot. Like everywhere is not so cold as that time. I remember. I had to go to school. It was a long way. So there were so many stones on the way. Sometimes it was a little bit dark. So I used to throw these white stones. And then I used to see the sparkles of the fire, of the stone hitting the floor. Anyway, how is my beloved Govinda? In the winter time, we don't want to give up our chadar, our blankets. Huh? No, the chadar, like the cloth, like a warm cloth. The quilt. You embrace so tightly your quilt. So my beloved Govinda is also like this. Just like my chadar, that in the winter season I am embracing my chadar. Not even for 1 second I give up my chadar. And in the rainy season, we love the umbrella. We love our umbrella in the rainy season. And Giri-seva, this is in the Brajabhasha language. In the summer season, we want a very cool breeze, you know. And you feel so much bliss in your body to feel that breeze. Soft wind. These kirtans are from Vidyapati Chandidas. We used to study this in the school. Kahan par bhai school mein? University. University. In the university, used to study these and all the meanings of these songs. Time's up.